Gentlemen, in 8 months from now, you and I will have the choice to pave the next 5 years for our nation, for India, or should I say Bharat, to avoid any confusion. The two camps are clear, but the contenders are not. In the NDA camp, you have two-term Prime Minister Narendra Modi with a proven electoral strike rate and a track record of 9 years that he has governed this country. In the opposition camp, you have not one but several contenders for the PM's post. So, are too many cooks spoiling the broth? Before they can put up a united fight back against the Prime Minister, they need to end the infighting and unite. Day after the conception of Team India, the chinks in the opposition armor are already showing. First, the biggest conundrum, Modi versus who? The opposition is yet to decide who will be their face for Prime Minister, and that decision seems to have been put off for the third summit to be held in Mumbai. While the Congress says that the 11-member Committee of India, which is the opposition alliance's new acronym, will be deciding this. The Trinamool Congress has already put Mamta's hat in the ring. Listen to this.
আমরা চাইবই তো আমাদের নেত্রী আমাদের সিএম একজন বাঙালি যে হয়নি কখনো তো আমরা তো চাইবো সেটা মানে পরের স্টেপ অন্য কথা কিন্তু চাওয়ার জায়গায় স্বপ্ন দেখাতে অসুবিধা নেই
মল্লিকার্জুন খাগড়ে বলেছেন না কংগ্রেস প্রধানমন্ত্রী দৌড়ে নেই তাহলে বিকল্প মুখ কাকে দেখছেন
তাহলে মমতা ব্যানার্জি
Prime Minister and other things, it will be decided when the call will come. The seniority level wise, if the seniority question comes, capability question comes, then Mamata Banerjee is one of the most appropriate.
India's Team 11, which is going to be the coordination committee, Karge Saab is going to announce that thing. When that is formed, when Team 11 is formed, that Team 11 will discuss about issues and other leadership issues.
Well, the BJP has lashed out at the opposition saying NDA has both the name and the niyat, but Team India has neither. Listen in to these attacks.
एक तरफ देश की जनता का जांचा परखा नेतृत्व मजबूत नेतृत्व है दूसरे तरफ जितने अलायंस है उसमें सभी प्रधानमंत्री जी के उम्मीदवार हैं
Now, the next flashpoint number 2 is over the seat sharing formula. While the Congress had suggested one common candidate in 450 seats, in fact, not the Congress, Nitish Kumar had suggested that, the left has made it clear that it will not fight alongside the Trinamool Congress. In fact, it has defiantly called Mamata Banerjee a dictator who murdered democracy. Listen into these caustic remarks and think, can these leaders come together? Listen into Brinda Karar.
टीएमसी के खिलाफ और टीएमसी की तानाशाही रुख जो बंगाल में दिखाई दिया है पूरे पंचायत के चुनाव में, तो बंगाल के अंदर ये जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बचाने का, जनवाद बचाने का, धर्मनिरपेक्षता को बचाने की जो परिस्थिति है वो बंगाल के ही आधार पर तय होगा। लेकिन मैं ये कह सकती हूँ कि जनवाद के ऊपर हमले करके आप जनवाद की रक्षक के नाम पर खड़े होंगे, उसकी बहुत कम क्रेडिबिलिटी है।
So no common Prime Minister and now not even a common thought on who's the savior of democracy in India. Let's look at attack number 3. The third chink is the credit war over who came up with the acronym of I.N.D.I.A. India. While MDMK chief Vaiko says that the name came up during a general discussion, Mamata Banerjee suggested this, but on the other hand, the Congress feels it was Rahul Gandhi's brainchild. Listen in.
It's a collective effort. I don't think we are taking any credits for this, but yes, the idea came from Rahul Gandhi, and like he defended the idea and like he argued for this. What is this fight about? Who is this fight between? This fight is between the NDA versus India. This fight is for the idea of India. This fight is for the voice of India. This fight is for the constitution of India.
General discussion was going on. The agenda of RSS, Hindutva, is being implemented one by one. That is what I said. So the next agenda is uniform security. They will try to implement it.
Well, the flashpoint number 4 is who will be the convener? Will it be Sonia Gandhi, who was the chair of the UPA, or will it be Nitish Kumar, who brought the parties together at the first time on the same platform? The BJP adds a twist to the tale and claims that Nitish left the opposition meeting in Bengaluru 2 hours before everybody else, and since he wasn't named the convener, he was a bit miffed. The JDU, however, says that Nitish's only aim is to defeat Modi. He doesn't run after any post. But to be noted is the fact that he neither attended the press conference nor did he give out a single soundbite when he landed in Patna. Is he sulking? Listen in.
हम लोगों को लगता है कि शायद उनको कन्वेनर नहीं बनाया गया, जिसकी बहुत उम्मीद लगाए बैठे थे, या उनको प्रोजेक्ट नहीं किया जा रहा है। इन्हीं कारणों से पहले लौट के चले आए। पिछले बार अरविंद केजरीवाल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस का बहिष्कार करके चले आए थे। इस बार नीतीश कुमार, लालू प्रसाद और उनके साथ जो लोग थे वो लोग चले आए। अभी चार्टर फ्लाइट थी, 2 घंटे बाद भी आ सकते थे। इसमें ऐसी कौन सी बात थी?
नीतीश कुमार जी को कोई नाम से मतलब नहीं है। नीतीश कुमार जी को सिर्फ मतलब इस बात से है कि 2024 में भाजपा से मुक्त भारत चाहिए। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के शासन में नौजवान बेकार पड़े हुए हैं, उनको रोजगार नहीं मिला, उनको नौकरी नहीं मिला, देश में महंगाई का आलम है, कफन तक टैक्स लग रहा है।
The final flashpoint, or would you call it confusion, is what does D in India stand for? Remember, minutes before Mallikarjun Kharge made the official announcement that D stands for development, RJD put out a tweet saying D is for democratic. But even after Kharge's announcement, both Akhilesh and the RJD put out tweets saying D stands for democratic. This has prompted the BJP to quip that the coalition should first stop infighting before they can plan to fight Modi.
और ये बात उन्होंने कल फिर दोहरा दी कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट साहब ने कि ये तो छोटे मोटे दल हैं। अरे भैया, ये छोटे मोटे दल आपको जो है वो कहाँ ले जाएंगे, आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। इसलिए एक चीज़ बहुत साफ है कि आप पहले मोदी जी से लड़ने से पहले आप आपस में भिड़ना बंद करिए, क्योंकि आप बार कहता हूँ आपके गठबंधन की गठरी में जितने छेद हैं उससे ज़्यादा आपके साथियों में मतभेद है। छेद को रफू करने, मतभेद को रफू चक्कर करने में अभी आपको कम से कम 25 साल और लगेगा।
So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the legitimate question on the NewsHour tonight. Can the opposition India unite to fight Modi? That's the question and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the NewsHour first. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonawalla, national spokesperson of the BJP, Sanjay Jha, author and suspended Congress leader, Dr. Pavan Varma, ex-member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha, Karthik Reddy, spokesperson of the BRS, Dr. Riju Dutta, national spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress, Sebastian Paul, ex-MP and spokesperson of the CPIM. But my first question goes to the only voter but not a politician on the panel, Mr. Suhel Seth. And Suhel Seth, I want to ask you, simply this: India is the name of the newly formed opposition coalition. On the other side is the NDA. What do you think about both of these formations?
So, India is an interesting name. It's an interesting acronym. But there are 3 or 4 brand-related issues with it. Number one, it's an English acronym in a country which is diverse both linguistically and in its acceptance of the India word. The second is it's a play on inclusiveness, democracy, blah, blah, blah. But you know, Navika, people don't vote for names, they vote for people. They vote for development, they vote for things in terms of a track record. An opposition alliance will be a true alliance if people are on the same page. What is evident even from your opening remarks and the rider to this show is that people aren't on the same page within the opposition. I'm not saying that they're on the same page within the NDA either. But the fact is that Modi, as an individual, his popularity is way, way ahead of anyone else. The fact that you haven't announced a leader from the India faction, as it were, adds to the problem. It doesn't solve it. You know, and I can tell you one thing, everyone there believes, and perhaps rightly so, that they are capable of being prime minister, whether it's Mamata Banerjee or Stalin or anyone else. And they all want a shoe-in terms of the prime ministerial office. So the dilemma is, you may have a great acronym, but then even Shakespeare rightly said, what's in a name? A rose smells as a rose by any other name. So just the acronym or the name is not enough. What will now be needed is deeds that will have to be put in front of the Indian people to tell them that, look, this is what we genuinely stand for. The other point, Navika, which you may have alluded to in your opening remarks as well, is that there is a lot of diversity of both opinion and ideology. You saw Brinda Karat's comments on the happenings in Bengal. You cannot have people with diverse ideologies suddenly coming together for electoral purposes. And the final point is, how will seat division happen? Do you think Mamata will give enough seats to the Congress to fight from in Bengal? I don't think so. Everyone today is a satrap in their states, perhaps rightly or wrongly. So, you know, it's a great launching pad. But then the point is, I've often said on your program, Operation Successful, Patient Dead is not what we want. We want a solid fight for the sake of democracy, but just nomenclature is not enough. Deeds are more important.
Well, Riju Dutta, to you first. Name, good, but is that all? Because the fights have already begun. Shatabdi Roy, Mr. Majumdar all want Mamata Banerjee to be the Prime Minister. That's not been actually endorsed in the meeting yesterday. The name India, who is the originator of the name? There are problems there as well. What is the ideology? How will you fight the elections together? Well, you've heard Brinda Karat. You've also heard the Congress leader in Punjab saying the same thing, in Bengal saying the same thing. Ki hobe, Riju Dutta?
Wow, multiple questions. So I'll give you multiple answers. First of all, I was hearing Mr. Seth very, very patiently, and I believe every single point that he made for the opposition alliance, that is India, applies to the NDA alliance as well. How many seats will Mr. Narendra Modi and BJP give to O.P. Rajbhar, Chirag Paswan and them lot, who do not have a single MP in the Lok Sabha? So it applies both ways. Point number one. Point number two, who came out with the name? Irrelevant. Yes. Irrelevant question. The opposition and the media, after the Patna summit and the Bangalore summit, has been so confused of what the narrative should be that they are coming up with these conspiracy theories. Who set the name? How does it matter? The opposition alliance is called India. We represent the people of India who are sick and tired of this fascist regime. We want to safeguard the ethos and the idea of India. We want to fight for its people and constitution. And that's that. We have the right to do that. Let the Nakli Dhokebaz alliance also come up with their own statement. We are not stopping them. When their leader said, Ek akela sab pe bhari, now needs 38 crutches to barely stand up. So these needs to be answered as well. But my humble question is Narendra Modi the prime ministerial candidate for NDA officially announced? Because as far as I know, that is not officially announced. Because I think the most popular leader right now in BJP is Kirit Somaiya. So people probably will vote for him if he is nominated as the prime ministerial candidate. So a lot of things needs to be sorted out in their backyard, same as our backyard. We will sort out our issues. If we can go to the public and if we can make them understand that for 9 years you have been cheated, you have been blackmailed, then we will win, India will win. And if we fail to make them understand, then the NDA alliance will win. So leave it to the people. Why are we digging into this conspiracy theory? किसने नाम बनाया? कौन क्या होगा? क्या सीट शेयरिंग होगा? अरे रुकिए मैडम, थोड़ा तो 2 मीटिंग का ट्रेलर आया है, पिक्चर बाकी है अभी.
अरे
There are multiple summits.
हम पूछे
6-7
तो
months left to the
conspiracy
election.
theory, आप पूछे तो
No,
it
one
is
minute.
genuine question. But Shehzad Poonawalla, respond.
Look, I don't know about the official
minute.
candidate of NDA not being known to everybody, but I do know that perhaps the official candidate for next CM and next Rajya Sabha candidate, which my dear friend Riju was not, and they sent Saket, perhaps could be Partha Chatterjee. So I don't know. Riju Dutta, better luck next time. Keep trying for Rajya Sabha. Is bar Saket,
Just
next
like
time
you,
Partha.
my dear friend.
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Since you took a dig, I also returned it with interest. Now let me move on to the debate. Dekhe Navika ji, just by applying name of India, do you become Niyat-India wali? East India Company also had India in their name. And if 26 chores start calling themselves police, does that mean they will become police? If Ghada starts calling himself Ghoda, will he start running like a Ghoda? Similarly, I asked them, India ka naam nahi, Niyat India wali hai ki nahi? Today what happened in Maharashtra? Vande Mataram ka virod. What is the stand of the Wardis on this panel? They have opposed surgical strike. They have opposed Balakot airstrike. They have questioned Pulwama. They have said that 26/11 was not done by Pakistan. It was actually done by Indians. They are the ones who have said civil war will take place if CA's law is brought into this country. These are the people. Is there Niyat India wali? And forget everything else. Today I want to ask them what is their agenda. I know Mr. Riju Dutta's party has been screaming loudly on various issues. Paschim Bengal mein 52 log mare gaye. Riju Dutta ji, the court is coming down heavily on you. Democracy is alive or democracy is dead there. Forget that. I know you will go to Manipur. This is the tasveer of Rajasthan. 4 people have been burnt alive. A 6-month-old child killed in Rajasthan. Nothing to say about that. This, by the way, is burnt India. This is unjust India. People parading naked in front of the Chhattisgarh's chief minister because the SC/ST people are not being given their rights. This Riju Dutta is kill India. West Bengal people are being killed. 52 of them were killed. And in fact, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and Mr. Suman Roy Chaudhary, Congress party leaders, have spoken about it. Mr. Riju Dutta will not speak about the 80-year-old woman who was raped by TMC cadre and she went to Supreme Court. It is not just some viral video which is unverified. This is actual affidavit. But Mr. Riju Dutta won't speak about the 39 women who were raped in West Bengal during the post-poll violence. Is this the idea of India? No, Riju Dutta. And therefore, I say last 2 points, Navika. Firstly, Niyat mein India hai. So tell us, Vande Mataram ka virod ya Vande Mataram sweekar. It is your alliance MLA, Mr. Abu Azmi, who has said that. And secondly, I just want to ask that today you have accepted that UPA ka antim sanskar karna hai. UPA is dead and buried because of the acts it indulged. And finally, forget, we don't need to do anything between y'all. Today, it is Brinda Karat who has said that there is no democracy in West Bengal. If she is wrong, if she is defaming Bengal, walk out of the alliance, Riju Dutta. If Mr. Sitaram Yechuri is wrong, walk out of the alliance, Mr. Riju Dutta. What are you waiting for? This shows your double standards, Mr. Riju Dutta. One person who's working for the country, you want to obstruct him, and therefore, just by taking the name of India, people are not going to believe you. You have to work for India.
30 seconds. 30 seconds for a rebut, Riju Dutta, before I get in the others.
Thank you. Yes. 30 seconds. Thank you. The same way, exactly the same way, किसी चोर को भगवा पहनाने से वो योगी बाबा नहीं बन जाता और बिल्ली को शेर का खाल पहनाने से वो शेर भी नहीं बनता. Number 1. Number 2, you are talking about India, kill India, burn India. One law applied by Narendra Modi and BJP. 700 farmers died. That was kill India. 2 Kuki women today, disrobed, dragged on the road, raped in the field. Today, where is Miss Sili Solirani? Where is Modi? Why is he not waking up to Manipur? He is the Prime Minister of India, for God's sake.
Riju Dutta, can you tell me your party's official stand on the rape of an 80-year-old and a 14-year-old by TMC cadre?
We represent something.
What is your party's official stand?
Don't have the patience
you said
to
these
hear.
rapes take
Don't
place.
come in between now. Don't come in between now.
I am showing you what you are all about.
Have the patience to hear.
I am showing you your
in the
real
same language
picture.
That you people
One
understand.
issue you
So
will
have
raise,
the guts to take
another
it back.
issue you will not raise.
Don't try to run
What happened
away.
about the
Don't
rape
try
in West
to
Bengal
come
of the
in. Don't
14-year-old
try
when
to
Mamata
harass
Banerjee
and
said it's a love
derail the
affair?
debate.
One rape is
Learn to take it
okay
back.
and
When
the other
I'm
rape
giving
is to
back
be
to
outraged
your
on.
language.
Mr. Riju
One
Dutta,
language.
today I will expose your entire
Maybe
party
should
and its
wake up.
dual face.
Instead
You
of
will not get away by insulting the women of West Bengal.
First talk about that. Stop being stooges.
Are the lives
Don't try
of
to
women
come
of West
into a
Bengal
debate,
less
derail the
important
debate
for you?
When you cannot take it back in your
Is
own
the
coin.
Mati
You were
and
kicked out
Manush of
the
West
PMO.
Bengal
You were
not
kicked
important
out of
for you?
Congress.
Well,
Now you
allow
are
me to
sitting
come
in
in.
the
Allow me to
At
come
one
in.
time you have
Wherever there is an atrocity,
Don't do this.
people should be answerable for it, and that goes for Bengal, that goes for Manipur, and therefore turning a blind eye to one while talking about the other doesn't serve any purpose for anybody. But let me get in Mr. Pavan Varma. Mr. Pavan Varma, you're an experienced parliamentarian. You've been an experienced bureaucrat as well. I want to ask you, when a political party or a set of political parties come together, form an alliance, which they have been doing for several decades now, till the last 9 years when a single party had the majority, I want to ask you, is it always compromising on ideologies, and therefore ideology is something that should not be spoken about? Is the prime ministerial candidate always going to be after the election so that the Janta doesn't know who they are voting for? Is the seat sharing an important part of it? Are these contrarian voices that keep coming from parties within the alliance, are they also normal? People should not ask questions about it. How do you see this new alliance of 26 parties when they are stacked against Narendra Modi on the one side, 38 parties behind him, big, small, doesn't matter, but his party alone has the majority in the parliament for the last 2 consecutive times. How do you see this battle?
Thank you, Navika. I think apart from the slugfest that I was recently seeing, I think there is a serious development here. For the first time in the history of our democratic evolution, you had two groupings, political groupings meeting on the same day with almost the entire political spectrum involved. One met in Bengaluru, one met in Delhi. Now, I think we need to analyze it with a little more calm and less emotionalism. I think the opposition has realized that within their diversity they need greater unity because their division helps the BJP, which is their principal opponent. Similarly, the BJP seems to have realized that within the monolithic unity of the BJP, there is a need for greater diversity. Now, normally I would have thought, Navika, that with such a strong Prime Minister, and his popularity is unquestioned, the narrative of Modi versus the rest would have suited the BJP. But I find it a little interesting that for the first time the BJP seems to have reacted by rediscovering the National Democratic Alliance, the NDA. Suddenly, almost out of the blue and for the first time in a full plenary session, the NDA meets. And the Prime Minister in his speech doesn't mention BJP but mentions NDA. That be as it may. Right now, if you ask my assessment, and the time is short, I think what the opposition is attempting is work in progress, incomplete, difficult, lacking yet an agenda, a pan-Indian narrative, organizational coherence, grassroots understanding, and a message which conveys a semblance of unity to people who are voting for parliamentary stability at the national level. It's a difficult issue. On the other hand, the BJP realizes that for a third term attempt at a complete majority, with legitimate discontents which are brewing under the surface, such as unemployment, inflation, authoritarianism, social disharmony, etc., they need to go beyond merely Narendra Modi and the BJP and collect allies. Both are works in progress. and we must watch this space rather than immediately respond that both are either successes or failures.
Very well said.
Pavanji is an institution in himself, but sometimes the facts can get the better of him. Pavanji said, when was the last time the NDA met in this entire plenary session? Sir, with due respect, before every parliament session we do meet. That's why we met even yesterday. 30th January 2023, 6th December 2022, 20th October 2020, and there are several meetings I can keep quoting to you of the NDA. But having said that, sir, with utmost respect, please tell me, if in 2014-2019, Prime Minister Modi secured a full mandate, yet we gave our allies their share into the government because we followed the dharma of coalition. In fact, even Nitish Ji, despite him being a smaller party, was made Chief Minister, so was Eknath Ji. But I ask you one thing, sir, you spoke about authoritarianism. I did not. Sir, what is your view on what has happened in West Bengal? Is Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary right? Or is Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi right by staying silent? So you have always batted for India. Please tell me, how can democracy live in India when democracy is dying in Bengal? I beseech you to take an objective position on this.
Dr. Varma.
Thank you, Shehzad. I'm glad you asked this question. I am not here to exonerate any political party or individual of misdeeds done in the name of democracy. And certainly the opposition is not entirely free of guilt. I accept that. Equally, and I must say, since you have asked me to be objective, I believe the BJP thus far has pursued a policy of relative and absolute exclusionism with regard to India's largest minority. And at the same time, let me complete, then you can respond.
Sure.
I believe that some of its policies, such as the targeting of opposition parties, has in a way contributed to the attempt at opposition unity. So, you have a situation where the same BJP, which was a collegium, I have been close to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Perhaps before you were born, I was close to Atal ji.
Sure.
There was a collegium of Advani ji, Murli Manohar Joshi and other leaders. Now there is an absolute cult around Narendra Modi, and for valid reasons he has brought in 2 victories. And it's not that the government has not done anything. But there is today a lack of inner party democracy within the BJP. And by the way, people in the BJP and the RSS themselves talk about it.
Okay.
And at the same time, there is this certain misuse and verifiable misuse of central agencies against the opposition.
I won't take more than.
Therefore, I say that there are legitimate discontents and probably both sides are guilty on many counts.
5 seconds.
Riju Dutta, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you in a bit. Shehzad, only 5 seconds.
5 seconds. He said the largest minority being excluded. Sanjay Raut is on record. Muslims' voting rights should be revoked. So how does he find a place in this alliance of saving secularism and democracy? And secondly, sir, you said that ED and CBI are being used to target opposition parties. Congress welcomed the entire action on Sisodia. It's another thing today that the Congress party may do a U-turn. Sir, the court sent Lalu Prasad Yadav to jail, and Mr. Partha Chatterjee, who was involved in the SSC scam which Navika's channel showed with all the money, that cash stash, it was by the court that the CBI probe was ordered. In fact, 8 probes were ordered by the CBI. Please tell me in one matter where the court has given them relief. It's the court also against all these opposition parties. 14 of them went to the Supreme Court, sir.
Well, we can debate this.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yes, sir.
No, 10 seconds only.
Sure. Sir.
It's true that there is corruption in the opposition. But it's also true that 42% of the current cabinet of the ruling party has criminal charges against it, including murder and attempt to murder, cheating. Have they been investigated? I ask you this question objectively.
Well, criminal charges is a debate that has to be.
Navika, let me just give one example. Mukul Roy, when he was vice president of BJP, the investigation went on against him. Charge sheet was filed, he was grilled. But now he is with the TMC. Sir, you tell us one case where Modi ji has allowed the case to be stopped.
Well, I'll
and
tell
I can
you.
show you all the
I'll
cases
tell you
where
many.
there's
I'll
position
tell you
changes.
many, and we've had this
One
debate
case,
a
Navika,
number
one
of times.
specific
We've
case.
had this debate a number of times. But Dr. Sanjay Jha, I want to ask you, where is the cohesion? Is it work in progress, as Mr. Pavan Varma says, or are these sore thumbs, the rough edges sticking out so much? Because I can understand if there is a meeting on the 18th of July and the next meeting is on the 15th of August, there is a month to forget. But between yesterday and today, 12 hours later, when there are dissonant voices that come in, doesn't it tell you that it will take you a long time before you can paper over the differences and project a cohesive coalition? You may name it India, you may name it Bharat, you may name it whatever, but the fact of the matter is India is not together, and that is where some people have a problem with the name India. How can anybody ever say that India is losing or India is not together? Because it doesn't feel right to say something like that. I'm asking about the letter and the spirit of the coalition. Is it really together?
Navika, as you know that I have been part of the Congress. I'm currently in political suspended animation. So I will be probably more bipartisan than a regular spokesperson of a party. So let me put the cards on the table and ask my friend Suhel. He's been a brand master for decades. It's quite unprecedented actually for a very disparate opposition to, in its second meeting after Patna summit in Bengaluru, to come up in a united fashion with a name that not just resonates with, I would say, the emotional sentiments of the large number of Indians, if not the entire country as a whole, but also to kind of take very conflicting thoughts. And I think, this is the beauty of a very diverse country like ours. There are 6 of us on the panel. I respect everyone, including you, Navika. We all think differently. We may have a different passion for a cuisine or for a film star or for a sport, but collectively, that's what makes us a very interesting proposition. And here is my point. Because I have been talking to a lot of people who are part of these deliberations, and I can tell you 4 recent developments that tell you the story of why India needs to win. And I'm talking about Team India, not just for the World Cup, hopefully Team India for 2024. And I'll take 4 recent events. Shehzad didn't answer it, but he needs to answer it at some point. The silence of a government.
Just one question. This Team India that you're talking about is the Team India which is part of the 26 parties, or is India everybody's? Or are you restricting the name India only for those 26 parties? Which
Navika,
one?
let me tell you, the political parties are actually fighting for each and every citizen of this country. Let me make another statement. Even if the viewers today who are supporters of the BJP or supporters of some other BJP alliance partner today, I can tell you that if India wins politically, it will fight for you equally as much as it will fight for somebody who votes for the Congress or some other member of the alliance. And here are my 4 short points. And that is what worried everybody in Bengaluru and in Patna. A government that ignores the violence in the Northeast for months on end, the Prime Minister's eloquent silence, I think that to me is a failure of political leadership of an astronomical.
What about Bengal?
Point number 2.
What about Bengal?
I'm coming to, let me tell you, I personally will speak up here with full responsibility that the violence in Bengal is equally condemnable and there can be no excuse for any violence in the country. Point number 2.
Is democracy not in danger in Bengal?
Maharashtra, here we are, Navika. I'm answering your question. On Maharashtra, the Prime Minister talked of a naturally corrupt party. Chakki piecing, 70,000 crore scam. I live here in Mumbai. And you have a BJP breaking up the NCP to form a government? Is this the respect you have for the people who have voted for any party in the Maharashtra elections? This is a mockery of democracy. Point number 3, the women wrestlers. And this is something that bothers me a lot. I mean, Navika, you're a woman. You're one of the most popular faces of mainstream media and journalism. Women being insulted. Forget the fact that Olympic champions, etc. That's another part of the story. Women being insulted in the capital of this country. And Pradhan Mantri has no time to assuage their hurt sentiment on a sexual harassment case against a BJP leader with a miserable track record. I mean, to me, these are moments of shame, disgust, if I can say so, with a capital D. And my last point, the great washing machine. This is no longer a joke. Initially on the TV programs, when we used to say BJP is like Samsung or LG or Bosch, it appeared like something frivolous or flippant. But this is a party that literally buys people, obliterates their corruption, and tells the people that this is my leader, vote for him. I mean, you cannot have a bigger corruption of Indian public life. And I don't care if
Sure, Dr. Sanjay Jha, I will grant you that. I will grant you that when our Olympians have to sit in the capital city of Delhi and have to protest and on a sexual harassment case, justice takes so long. I'm completely with you on that. But when you question democracy, then you should be questioning Bengal with the equal amount of fervor. And Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is, but there is another decision that the central dispensation takes. Then you should worry about women in Rajasthan as well, and talk about the fact that Ms. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has never tweeted for them, because today, as we speak, there has been an incident in Jodhpur, and there are the highest rape capital in the country is Rajasthan. But I've never heard you say anything about that. My question is that we cannot have our view of what democracy is all about, and therefore I want to get in Mr. Sebastian Paul. Mr. Sebastian Paul, Brinda Karat today said that in Bengal there is a dictatorship. So when Modi is talked in the context of authoritarianism, then what is Mamata Banerjee?
Yes, it is a problem. While forging an alliance of 26 political parties, divergent political parties, such things, differences of opinion may happen. We have our own opinion on the way Mamata Banerjee is functioning in Bengal. So is in Kerala also. The CPM is at loggerheads with the Congress party. But such difficulties will be sorted out in the national interest. And there lies the genius of this political move. I think as time goes on, the second conclave in Bengaluru has provided a more clear vision about the prospective alliance. And such types of differences will be sorted out. But at the same time, differences on basic issues will stand. With those differences intact, we could be able to forge an alliance as we did in 2004. There at the time, the left parties, we were 64 members in Lok Sabha at that time. We were able to support the UPA.
Karthik Reddy, are you convinced? Are you convinced that in the second meeting, there was a better vision and that these differences? I'm coming to you, Suhel. I'm coming to you, Karthik Reddy.
Navika ji, I hope you'll find answers. I won't be precise with my answers to your question. For the record, I know where this debate is going, and what I'm going to say, I'm sure you will counter me with certain facts. I condemn the violence in Bengal. I condemn whatever happened in Rajasthan. I condemn what happened in Delhi. And I seriously condemn what is happening in Manipur. You know, Navika ji, before you jump the gun, हम आपको बचपन से देखते हुए आ रहे हैं. As a woman, you push through a profession where men dominated your profession. When there is any crime against women, I hope out of respect that you do not take sides. Today in Manipur, Navika ji, my heart is wrenching. It is such a sad matter that a woman was stripped and paraded and fondled and whatnot, I don't know. And you know, Navika ji, you know what really hurts? As a country, we have become completely no conscious. We are a corpse without life. I know the biggest point which really hurts to me today after I see that video is not just that the woman in this country is paraded openly and treated as a trophy, but my Prime Minister avoids talking about it for the last 2.5 months. You know where he was in the last 2.5 months, Navika ji? He was in Paris talking about croissants. He was in New York talking about sports. He was in Sydney talking about Dokla. I request, before we jump gun and take sides,
respond. It's unacceptable anywhere in the country. Anywhere in the country, it's unacceptable, what happens to women.
Can I do something unprecedented on your show? I don't want to talk. I just want you to read one statement for me, which is from a news report.
No, I don't want to. You have to respond directly.
Hyderabad gang rape. Home Minister of Telangana.
That doesn't.
If kids
What
run
about
freely,
no,
it will be
it
difficult
is wrong.
to stop them.
It is
I'll
wrong.
hold my government responsible.
It is wrong.
Navika,
it is wrong and
absolutely wrong.
But respond on Manipur.
Yeah,
but
Navika,
respond on
I'm
Manipur.
responding on Manipur.
I hold my government responsible. Enough?
Navika, one second. I would have loved
that.
Mr. Reddy, can I speak?
Responsible.
Okay. Yes, Karthik Reddy, agreed. You have said this about your government. Shehzad is responding.
The incident had taken place in June 2022. The statement was made. KCR and his son KTR, who gives you many interviews, never made that statement. Nor did they take action on this Mahmood Ali. But now, Mr. Reddy, after 12 months, no, let me tell you, when you put the blame of the rape on the woman, when you put the rape on the woman,
this does not answer Manipur. This does not answer Manipur. No. This, I have 10 seconds. We'll come to the point. Manipur.
I am answering, Navika, provided I am allowed to answer.
Manipur, I'm running out of time.
I'm answering.
It is my sister.
I do not think that question can come from somebody who has justified
I'm
rape.
asking the question.
Yeah, now I'll tell you. Who has said that it is the fault of the woman? We are condemning it with all our might. But those who have justified rape should first tell us when they are going to sack Home Minister.
Unfortunate that it has to come down to this. I'm completely out of time, Suhel Seth. You'll have to excuse me for today. But the fact of the matter is, yes, politics and political alignments are absolutely imperative ahead of elections. But will they change the lot of people of India? It is that question that today citizens of India are asking. On the one side, unknown entity. On the other, there is a known Prime Minister with a known track record. What will people choose? Are they looking for an alternative, or are they looking at a position where there is still work in progress? Well, as we always say, Janta Janardan is the boss. People will take the call, and as they always do, their call will be the judgment day for political parties. Which side will they go? We don't know. We'll wait and watch. And this is the place you'll get all the answers. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.